What's going on, everybody? I'm Max Kellerman, and welcome to this Just in a Fast Hour around the world of sports and how I and some of my friends see it. That's 9-year NFL vet Sam Acho. That is Brooke Pryor, and Coach Herm Edwards will join us in just a moment. We begin with Baker Mayfield. Former number 1 overall pick Baker Mayfield was claimed off waivers by the Rams on Tuesday. And on Thursday, he led a 98-yard game-winning drive to beat the Raiders. What? The locker room was hyped after this one. Check this out.
Hey, great job, man. Unbelievable to be able to come in here 10 minutes ago and help lead us to a victory. See you guys on Monday. Baker Mayfield.
Man, the Rams looked down and out that entire game, but that final drive was something special. What began at their own 2-yard line with 1:45 to go. Baker engineered a 98-yard go-ahead touchdown drive. I mean, that pass to Van Jefferson for the TD. Elias tells us that's the longest in the past 45 years that began inside the final 2 minutes of the game. 45 years! He took 2 days to prepare. Baker's now led 2 teams to victory off the bench when trailing by 13. And there's Coach Herm Edwards. Guys, all I can tell you is I have one eye on the game. I'm thinking last night I'm going to catch up on a little sleep. I'll be, by Friday it adds up. I do a morning show. I'm going to, by the half it'll be good. Baker comes in the game. I'm like, let me just see what's going to happen here. That was unbelievable. And it's never too late to start changing your story and writing your own script, right? Meantime, Matthew Stafford, spinal contusion, bad elbow, right? Concussion. It is not, he's proven everything he needs to prove. He's not just a big money, numbers guy in Detroit in a bad situation. First time in a good situation, won the Super Bowl. It is not unreasonable to speculate that maybe he's done. It's not unreasonable to speculate. It's a possibility. What? Maybe Baker Mayfield with McVay could be the next quarterback of the Los Angeles Rams. Coach, you spent a lot of time in NFL locker rooms, both as a player and a coach. Have you ever seen anything like this with a quarterback?
It's a head scratcher. It really is for everyone. But think about this. It happened in L.A. Only in L.A. can this happen. They write a lot. They have a lot of great movies. Mickey Mouse is out there. All that good stuff, Disneyland. And it was a game. You kept watching it, and you said, now, wait a minute. This thing is kind of going the wrong way, especially for the Raiders. But I thought what Baker did was something that we just all sit here and talk about, and the fact that talk about a guy that comes in there and only really practices maybe a day and a half.
What?
But it was a good job by Coach McVay really asking him one thing. I'm going to give you some concepts that you're familiar with. I'll get our offensive line to help you with some protections. You just go back and play. And if you look at Baker Mayfield, you got to ask yourself this question. He had nothing to lose.
Right.
He was playing free. No one expected this out of him. There was no pressure on him. Now, this week's a different week. Because now everyone's saying, well, you just played that way last week. Can you do it twice in a row? But it was a great game for the Rams, Baker Mayfield. But on the other side of it, the Raiders, 2 patches. They were bad, guys.
We're going to get to that.
Second half.
Sacho, meanwhile, you don't have your all-world receiver. You don't have your all-world defensive tackle. It's not just that he just got the playbook 30-something hours before that. It's not, he doesn't have his best players on the field. And the Rams are dead in the water. The Raiders were fighting for their playoff lives. They've won 3 in a row. You spent 9 years in NFL locker rooms. You ever see anything like this?
I haven't. I thought about this and thinking, man, maybe I have guys come in the locker room. This is a quarterback coming in on a Tuesday, playing on Thursday Night Football, number 1. Number 2, he didn't even start the game. He didn't start the game. He comes in first pass. Completion, down the line, end of the game, completion. I remember when I was playing in Arizona 2014, we had Carson Palmer, undefeated, 1 loss, making the playoffs. Carson goes hurt. Back up, Drew Stanton, he comes in. He wins us a couple games. They were feeling good. He gets hurt. Then our third string guy comes in who's been on the team, who's been there, who knows the offense. We come in, we get blown out in the playoffs, right? This guy just showed up, and he's leading a 2-minute drive to go win the game. The best thing I heard in that whole conversation, the whole video that we heard, was Coach McVay said, hey, I'm going to see y'all on Monday. What does that mean? It was a Thursday night game. That means everyone's off on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. As a player, you usually see you Wednesdays, right, on a Monday, on a Sunday game. If you start winning with Baker Mayfield, all of a sudden, I don't care about any of the narratives on the outside. Really, McVay, he doesn't care about the narratives on the outside. He cares about a dude who he knows not only has the talent to win, but is a proven winner, and he did it last night. I couldn't be more excited because there's no pressure.
When you get drafted where Baker got drafted, there's a reason. You have to have some qualities. Jamarcus Russell, Ryan Leaf, a second overall.
Yeah.
Like, there's something in there or you're not getting drafted that high, right? So given that, Brooke, and given what we just saw, and given McVay's offensive prowess, right, could Baker flip the script, become a viable, like, NFL starter again?
Yes, there's no question in my mind, because I saw him at Oklahoma, and he had Lincoln Riley. He had that partnership with him. Why can't he have that same kind of partnership with Sean McVay? And to me, Baker Mayfield is at his best when there's a chip on his shoulder. Now there's like a Pringles can on his shoulder. Like, he is ready to
The little
go
one
out
or the
there.
big one?
Not the big one. It's
Okay.
a supersized one. Like, you could still have it all in one sitting, but it's going to make your stomach hurt. Because look, Baker Mayfield thrives when no one believes in him. And even though there's going to be more pressure on him going into this week, it's a week-to-week tryout. Like, nothing is guaranteed. So there may be some hope, like, well, he came out and he won this one game. Like, no, to Baker, he still has so much more to prove and so many people to prove wrong. Like, hey, look, I can be consistent. I can come back and be a franchise quarterback. I think that this is going to be a good situation.
See, I'd actually disagree, not necessarily with you, Brooke, but even with Coach. She said there's pressure because he's got to. There is no pressure on Baker Mayfield.
Yes.
No one's expecting him to do anything in Los Angeles. No one expected him to win. No one expected him really to play on that short week, yet he found a way to win. No one's saying, oh, now that you won, now you're going to be the future of the franchise. You might be saying that, Max, but no one else is saying that. And so I think that allows him to play free. You saw how quickly it was. Drop back, get it out, get it out. Yes, you know the playbook more, but there's no pressure on.
The man has had 7 head coaches in not even 5 seasons. He's with a good one now. He was with a good one in Stefanski, put up a top 10 QBR for a playoff team. Raiders dropped to 5-8 on the season. Meantime, Coach started to already go toward the Raiders. You know he's got something to say. In half their losses, they led by at least 13 points at some time in the game. That ties the NFL record for most losses in a season after leading by 13 plus. It was last done by the 1998 Colts. Peyton Manning was a rookie. Let's quickly hit the Raiders. Coach, you wanted to go there right out the gate. What stood out to you from the Raiders side of things last night?
Well, just their own inability to finish the game and really self-destruction in the second half. And when you look at how they played, whether it was penalties or whatever it may be, to extend plays for the offense, it was really a lot of times bad secondary play. And here's one that illustrates this. We got a safety that reads it perfect. Not only does he come over to maybe hit the ball, but doesn't play the ball. But listen to this. He doesn't even hit the guy. Watch this. This is like a game. Look, let me show you something. You see this ball? This is the NFL ball. Yep. And when they throw it in the air, it basically has no one's name on it. The commissioner's name on it, that's it. Doesn't belong to anybody. It's a free ball. And when it goes in the air, go play the ball. I watched this stuff last night and I'm going, what are we doing? Now, I played in the secondary. I'm not going to say I was any good, but I knew one thing. When the ball leaves the quarterback's hands, it's actually a free ball. It doesn't belong to anybody. If the intentions are to throw it to the guy they're trying to throw it to, but really when it's in the air, it's a free ball. All you got to do is play the ball. That play right there was an illustration of how the secondary played down the stretch. 10 seconds left. I get it. You want to press the guy. Why? Why do you want to be in press coverage with only 10 seconds left?
Not to mention the coverage. Coach, not to mention the coverage. I mean, at the postgame, Richard Sherman brought it up right away, perplexed by the coverage. First thing Baker Mayfield said was, I couldn't believe the coverage, right? All right. It was, besides the way he played, it was yet another fourth quarter comeback in the career, not only of Baker Mayfield, but of Tom Brady. He's had a few of those on Monday night. The GOAT trailed by 13 points in the fourth, but led 2 late touchdown drives to stun the Saints. Really threw 3 touchdown passes. One was taken back. Brady passed Peyton Manning for the most fourth quarter comebacks in NFL history. Coach, if you are coaching the Bucs this weekend, what's your game plan to put Brady and the offense in a position to succeed against this formidable San Francisco defense?
I would say this: once you have the ability to make a first down, stay on the ball and go. Let Brady call the plays. Let him go right from the first down and go. Just go fast. Don't get in a huddle. Don't do any of that. When Tom Brady makes a first down, let him call the offense. Let him get the ball out. That's what he does. When this offense has some rhythm to it, it's Tom Brady orchestrating it with no huddle and just playing football. And if you want to beat the 49ers, you got to keep that defense on the field. Don't let them substitute the linemen packages, attack the package they're in, and just go fast. That's the chance you got. Because if you try to drop back against these guys, it's going to turn out bad.
Not with that line, especially Sacho. How do Brady and the Bucs get it done?
You got to keep it close. You have to keep it close because what happens in these games is that you keep it close and at the end of the day you let Tom Brady do his thing. That's what Tampa Bay wasn't doing. Back when they played Baltimore, gave up over 200 rushing yards, it was a blowout. Since then, team meeting. Levante David has his team meeting. I'm guessing what he said to his teammates is, bruh, we have Tom Brady on the football field. Let's do our job. He will do the rest. Do your job defensively, and TB12 will do the rest. Go back to the Rams game about a month ago when Tampa Bay played the Rams. That was one of those big-time comebacks. And yes, it's the Rams all of a sudden. You won the game because Tom Brady was throwing it to who? Cade Otton throwing it to who? Scotty Miller. Those were the heroes in that game. And then in his most recent comeback, throwing it to 2-minute drive. Cade Otton, Scotty Miller. You saw Julio Jones make that catch. If you keep the game close, Tom Brady will do the rest. That's what Tampa Bay has been able to do over these last few games where they've won more than they've lost.
Yeah, and by the way, Levante David, you meant they have talent on the defensive side of the ball. Levante David making plays. Brooke, which team do you trust more to go on a deep playoff run? The Mr. Irrelevant leading a stacked team or the GOAT leading a creaky team?
It has to be Mr. Irrelevant, which is not a thing that I ever thought I would say, that I would pick Mr. Irrelevant over Tom Brady. But in today, in the here and now, yeah, it's going to be Brock Purdy because he's in a self-driving car. Like, they're in the bay. This is a Tesla. And all he has to do is just be there. I mean, I knock on wood here, but I think that the weapons that he